We've got new talent coming into Street Fighter 6. A 9-year-old went on to win their first tournament set using modern Lily. And of course, the conversations of whether modern is scrubby or not will always rage on, but regardless, this was an open tournament against both modern and classic players, using Lily, who has often been treated as the worst character in the game. Personally, I've never felt that way. I've gotten bodied by many Lilies. That's impressive stuff, regardless of what control scheme they're using, being completely honest. This girl goes by the name of Cupcake. She ended up taking 4 rounds in a row to win, and it's pretty crazy to see. I'll insert some footage here. But getting a win on stream and with Lily, who people say sucks, that's a pretty impressive feat for a 9-year-old. Then moving things to even younger, recently, not too long ago, there was a grand finals in a tournament with PR Balrog and Samurai, and PR Balrog ended up coming out on top. That's not the craziest thing in the world. PR Balrog has been a professional Street Fighter player for a long time now. But what was unusual is that he secured the win while having his child on his lap. Under all that pressure, he's somehow balancing, having a kid and his arcade stick on his lap. And under all that pressure, still manages to eke out the win. I'll put some footage in here. And it makes me wonder, was there some extra salt from Samurai after losing, knowing that your opponent had a child on their lap right next to you at the same time?
Game 5. Luke, round 1. Ooh. Yep, one more. Oh, nope.
No more chip.
No more chip. Oh my goodness.
He's dead.
Oh my god. Oh, what the heck?
The child buff. It was the child buff.
Oh my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week's champion.
To round off today's stories, we've got some discussions from the pros. First one is Punk complaining about perfect parry in Street Fighter 6. Now, Punk is not the first pro to complain about parrying, but he says here, "I'd pay top dollar for Capcom to remove perfect parry from Street Fighter 6. And he gets a reply with someone saying parry has never been a well-designed mechanic, whether it's in Third Strike or Street Fighter 6. However, Punk makes it clear that his hate of parrying is not new. He says, "Parry is a terrible mechanic in general, and I dislike it in any game it's in." Endingwalker then chimes in and says, "Parry is too strong right now in my opinion, but removing it would definitely be a mistake. Balance and gameplay wise, it would be worse. I think they should add another state, parry counter, which if you throw a parry, it does 30% damage. Sure, it's high, but it would stop people just throwing out parry." Quick shout out to Endingwalker for bodying me in my first tournament. But yeah, what do you guys think? That would be a lot of damage and a big punishment for parry. It would make it a much more difficult mechanic to use. Do you think that would be too harsh? Do you think it would wreck the game? Do you think parry is a good mechanic? Then we have more complaints that aren't new, with people complaining about the input issues with Street Fighter 6. We've had both pros and casuals complain that their inputs aren't coming out correctly, and these complaints go back to the launch of the game a good few months ago now. So Chris Tatarian says, "It's frustrating to have to repeat this, but bad inputs need to be addressed immediately." With Savage Saint replying, "They're taking their sweet time because the high pro players aren't on their asses about it. I never had a game assume moves for me like this ever." And Chris replied again, "I lost in tournament because of it. It's reached a breaking point for me." A lot of pros seem to have complained about input issues, so I'm not sure what Capcom's thinking about this, but I'm sure they've seen it. Then Infiltration chimes in saying he loves all things in Street Fighter 6 except inputs. Please fix it, Capcom. So hopefully a big enough stink is being made about this now that Capcom actually addresses this, maybe even in the patch that Aki is meant to turn up in later this month. I have to say, even for myself, there have definitely been some times where I know I've input the correct thing and it just comes out wrong or chooses a different move for me. It's very unusual, you know. But anyway, those are our stories for today. We'll see what more news turns up later on in the month. With Aki coming out soon, I know that Street Fighter 6 is going to have a lot to talk about. But if you like the video, please like and subscribe. When there's more stuff to talk about, I'll be talking about it. See you next time.